Hello, and welcome to Church at Home with Rachel. Glad to see you today. I hope you're having a good week so far. Um, Yesterday in Edgerton, one of my at St. Mary's, we started a Bible study conversation group based on a book called "What Happens When Women Say Yes to God." And it didn't even occur to me until I was prepping for it yesterday afternoon that this is something that this say yes to God thing was a theme through my holidays. One of the things, I think I mentioned it last week, but one of the things that I kept saying to Rob was, "Do you want to?" We'd see something that wasn't on our plan, and we'd like, "Do you want to? Why not? Like, what's stopping us?" And a whole series of, "Let's try that, and let's try some." It's like me trying different foods. I tried elk and bison, and I tried lamb. I'm not a big lamb person, but we went to a restaurant in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and we went to I think it's called Carnival, and it's like a Brazilian steakhouse or Brazilian restaurant where they have gauchos who come along with different kinds of meat on a big skewer, and you try different things. There were 12 different items you could try, and I actually tried each and every one of them. Some of them I had more than one little bite. Some of them it was like, "Oh, I can't believe I ate that," including shrimp. I can't stand seafood, but I tried it and I ate it and I hated it, but I did it. My whole thing about going on this vacation was, especially once we got into Louisville and then continued on in sort of we've seen families, and now we're into the vacation part of the vacation. Was the whole thing was, let's just try new things. Let's look new places. Let's go new places. Let's try new foods and drinks, and let's do something I've never done before, which I did quite a few things. Um, but really, at the heart of it all, it seems like when I look back on it, it was a series of just saying yes to God, being open to new ideas and new possibilities, looking back. And because when you're in the car for, 8 or 10 or 13 hours a day, there's a limit to how much conversation you're going to have. And there's quite a lot of time to think. And I got thinking about the times in my life when I had said yes to God, and all those times when I hesitated, or I said no, or I said yes, but. And looking back and thinking, I really don't have any regrets, but some questions like, I wonder what would have happened if. Wonder what would have happened if I'd said yes to God in that circumstance. And this whole Bible study is all about that. What happens when women, in particular, say yes to God? And in reviewing it, and reviewing the video, and then watching the video with the folks, with the ladies, it was like this incredible sense that God, saying yes to God doesn't mean everything's really easy. Quite often, saying yes to God means we have to step out of our comfort zone. We have to try a new thing, or we might have to stop doing something. Saying yes to God might mean saying, "Yes, God, I will stop that thing. Yes, God, I will stop smoking. Yes, God, I will stop holding a grudge. Yes, God, I will change that bad behavior." But quite often, it's a new kind of thinking. It's a, "Yes, God, I will try that new kind of behavior. Yes, God, I will try that, whatever the adventure might be that you think, I can't possibly do that." And the beauty of it is that it's like I said the other day about the playing cards on Friday, that when you pull a card from the deck and you find, you look at that question on the deck and the card and it says something really hard, it's okay to say, "I'm not ready to answer that right now. I'm just going to set it aside. I'm not going to throw it out. I'm just going to set it aside." Saying yes to God may simply mean having this conversation. It's like, "Okay, God, I understand you're asking me to do Z. But before I get to Z, or for Americans, Z, um, I need to do X and Y to get ready for that." And the thing is, God knows what we're capable of. God's not going to ask us to do Z or Z before we know how to do X and Y. But when he asks us to do Z or Z, he's asking us then also to do X and Y. God just gives us the whole thing, not the step-by-step stuff. And the fact is, it could be that we don't need to do X or Y, that we realize that we have A, B, C, and LMNOP that all help us to be able to jump right over W and go right to Z or Z, to do what God is asking us to do. But it's in our hesitation. It's in our, I don't think I can. I worry that I won't be good enough. Who am I that God would ask me to do that? that's where we start, we screw up. That's where we allow our psyche, our our lack of confidence, our our self-consciousness to jump in and stop us from the adventures and the possibilities that might happen. Sometimes saying yes to God can be really hard, but the benefits will be beautiful. Sometimes saying yes to God can be hard, and the outcome is hard. Saying yes to God when we have lost someone, the death of a parent or a child or a spouse or a good friend, and saying yes to God may mean getting up in the morning and facing the day and saying, yes, God, I will try again. And that can be the most difficult thing we do. But at the end of the day, really, we still have to face the day. So why not try? Why not give it a try? If we only get so far, for instance, I remember last May, remember when my dog died, when Dude died, it took me, it's still taking me time, but it took me a good month before I could find myself getting up in the morning and feeling like, okay, I can do this. The whole month of May, it was a whole series of, I don't want to get up. How am I going to do this? I'm so depressed. I am so sad. I'm so lonely. I can't possibly, but I have to. So, okay, I will. And at the end of the day, realizing I did get through it all. And by the end of the month, it got better. It's not perfect now. It's still really hard. And yet, by saying yes to God, I am finding other ways in life to say yes. As a matter of fact, one of the things that how we said yes was that we found this at the Bass Pro Shop in Saskatoon on the very first day of our holidays. Dude had one like this, and it's like scrappy, and it's like this is all messed up, and his face is all flattened, and there's like where he chewed on, he didn't really chew his ear, just where he picked him up, and it's got like this the hardened saliva, and I'm not gonna wash it because it stinks like Dude, and it's still that little dude is still up on the shelf in the kitchen. This little dude is a reminder to me that no, Dude can't be replaced, but Dude would have me say yes. Dude would say, take on a new adventure. Maybe someday adopt a new dog. Not yet. But this is a reminder to me that Dude would not want me to hang around and be depressed, but to try a new thing. I cannot take back what has been, cannot change decisions I've made in the past, but I can change the decisions I make in the future. And so saying yes to God may be intentionally saying yes to God, verbally, orally saying yes to God, may be exactly what I need to be able to deal with the loss of this one's namesake. Saying yes to God may be exactly what my congregations need for me to become a better priest. Saying yes to God may give me stories to share with you on Church at Home that are exactly what we all need. So I'm going to say yes to God today. How about you? How are you going to say yes to possibilities and opportunities, even if they scare you? Because trust me, there's a whole lot in life that scares me, but I'm still willing to try. I'm still willing to say yes. I also have the benefit of knowing that when I say yes to God, I recognize that just like my baptismal vows, when I say yes to God, it always followed up with God's help. So with God's help, I say yes to today. How about you? Have a great day. God bless. And I will see you again tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachael.